So good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are from. This is JP. Welcome to John Paul Music UK. And in this live stream, we're going to be talking about looping in 2023. Hi, how are we doing? Yeah, I've not been doing a live stream for a little while. After 3 years, that pandemic thing caught up with us and our family. So I'm back. It's all okay now. So I just wanted to first of all say hi and Merry Christmas to those, and also Happy Holidays, and also if you're planning for a good New Year. I have a conversation with me in the chat. This is technically an Ask Me Anything, so if you want to ask me anything, any questions about any videos I've been doing recently or anything that's coming up, if you want to know what's going on, I can tell you. And then also we're going to be talking about the future of looping in 2023. So there's a couple of different things I want to get up on the screen. Sorry. Let's just have a quick look. Where are we? There. Didn't do this one. So before we get going, this live stream is sponsored, and it's sponsored by a friend over at DistroKid. So DistroKid are a music distribution company. So if you have any music you want to get out there in the world, then DistroKid can help you. You give your songs to them, you keep all the royalties, and what they do is they push it out to all the online stores and streaming sites around the world. There's about 160 at the moment, which includes things like social media like Facebook or Instagram or TikTok. Now, why would you want your music there? Well, if someone uses your music in reels, then you get paid, but also that music could go viral on a video, for example. Now, most music distributors actually charge you per release. DistroKid don't do that. They charge you one price per year, which starts at $19.99, and you can go up to $35.99 and $79.99 if you go for Musicians Plus or the label tier. So if you do want to do that, there is a link, which is that link right there, and that, if you click that, that helps me out, helps the channel, but also you get 7% off your first annual membership with DistroKid if you sign up. So if it's $19.99, it's going to work out around about $16-ish dollars. If you're in the UK, it's like less than like 4 beers to distribute as much music as you want from now all the way through 2023 as well. So just want to thank DistroKid for sponsoring at the live stream, and also thank you very much for clicking the link. It's in the description box, which is on YouTube and Facebook. We're also live on Twitch. We're also live on Twitter, and we're also live on LinkedIn as well. So there we go. Now, this is what we call a show called Ask Me Anything. So you can just pop stuff in the chat. This is what's called a super chat, where basically you can actually ask me anything, and we can have a look at it. That's fine. If you want to obviously help the channel out with a super chat on YouTube, you can do. Of course, that helps me directly, which is very nice. You don't have to do that, of course. So if you do have any questions, by all means, ask away. Ask anything you like if you want to. You will hear me do that at least once more. There you go. You will hear me do that a couple of times on this live stream as we're just getting over this little cold. But that's the way of the world, isn't it? So first of all, Christmas. How was everyone's Christmas? Did you get what you wanted? Did you get what you asked for? I hope so. I personally am very, very happy. My absolute gorgeous darling wife got me this. This is the Akai MPX Mini Play. So it's actually a keyboard, like a mini controller keyboard, but it's got sounds inside it if you're not familiar with it, so hence the little speaker. And you can run it off batteries. You can also run it off USB. You can even run it off a USB like power bank, which is cool. And I'm going to be messing around with that because the idea is then to connect this to a loop pedal, of course. I have controller keyboards, but then I'd need something else to make sounds, and I've done that before, where I've put the iPad up with the RC505 and the RC600. But then you need to be able to play it. You kind of miss something. You know, you still want physical keys. This is a great way. You can get some great noises, both pads and keys. 25 little keys, and yeah. So I'm going to be messing around with that over the next coming weeks. So I'm very, very happy about that. So it's all good. So I hope everyone's okay. As I say, give us a shout out, give us a hello, and let me know if Santa brought you what you asked for. And as I said, we're going to be talking about looping, of course, which we always do on the channel. But we're going to be talking about a couple of other things as well. Mainly, recording as well. Now, the other thing was December is also my birthday, and it's sad when you get older. You want like really sort of normal things. So all I wanted was more boxes. So I actually got more boxes from IKEA. So my boxes look nice. So all the stuff that was on the shelves is now in boxes, so it just looks a little bit more tidy. But there we go. And yeah, so there's loads of different things that obviously we can talk about. Trevor, hi. Good afternoon. Hope you're well. How was Christmas, mate? Hope you're all right. And the big one obviously I want to talk about is literally looping in 2023. What is the future? Happy New Year. Yes, it's a couple of days. It's going to be the end of the year. 2022 is a bit of a weird one for a lot of people, but I think it's a bit of a recovery for some people. But then also, I think 2023 is going to be where people step into doing what they want to do. I'm Todd for Xmas. Okay. So, yeah, so basically it depends obviously what you want to do. And there's loads of different options, and the thing is, obviously, if we're talking about things like looping, there's loads of different options as well. Now, I'm going to basically be talking into different ways of looping, and the first one, of course, is by using like a phone or an iPad. And the big one with that is there's a couple of different loop apps out there, both on Android and both on iOS. But the biggest one by far that's made the most amount of push, certainly for 2022, was Loopy Pro. Now, Loopy Pro obviously is a huge piece of kit that I'm going to be diving into a bit deeper, and me and Michael have been having a chat about a couple of different things we could do to explain how Loopy works a bit better. So we're going to be doing that and looking into things a little bit more in Loopy Pro in 2023. So if you do have any Loopy Pro questions, obviously throw them at me either on the videos that I've made Loopy Pro on, or obviously in these live streams as well. There's loads of other apps out there. So there's loads of different apps, obviously, like Quantaloop. There's Loopy Pro, there's Loopy HD, which is made by Michael, who made Loopy Pro as well. There's Group the Loop. There's loads of other ones out there. Even TC Helicon have got like a basic looper out on an app as well. And it's just basically down to how you want to communicate through it. So if you're using something like a phone, or if you're using something like an iPad or an Android tablet, then you may need connections. So things like the camera connection kit gives you USB, so you can plug in a USB audio interface, or so you can plug in microphones like this microphone here, or other microphones as well. So if you've been gifted maybe for Christmas an iPhone or an iPad or an Android tablet, I'm not too smart on which ones they are, as you can tell, then you may be going, I want to get into looping. Then of course there's amazing apps out there. Now this live stream is sponsored by DistroKid. It's not sponsored by anyone else, but my recommendation, if you were asking me, I'm going to get into looping for the very first time ever, which app should I go for? Me personally, I would actually turn around and say Loopy Pro. Now, Loopy Pro is a professional looping app, and it can be quite daunting, but the other thing as well is it's completely customizable in the sense of you can build the way Loopy is any way you want to, which is really good because you don't feel constrained by it. The other thing as well is that you've got that whatever you've done on the, say, like a tablet is available also on your phone, which is really good. There's a couple of other ones. If you want one that looks just like a pedal, then I would go with something like Quantaloop Pro, because Quantaloop kind of mimics a pedal looping environment, which is really good. Now, a couple of these apps, some apps are free, some apps obviously you have to pay for. Most of them you have to pay for, and I don't mind doing that because at the end of the day, you're supporting the developer who made that app, which I think is a very good thing. If you think about that, 10 years ago, software cost hundreds, if not thousands of pounds. Now, for a couple of quid, you can get an app which can do any performance that you want to, which is great. Excuse me. Moving away from obviously iOS and Android apps, the alternative is obviously stuff on your computer. Now, if Santa has been amazing to you and you've received something like a PC or a laptop or a Mac or a desktop, I said that all the way wrong round. A PC or Mac, a laptop or a desktop. There we go. Then you obviously may want to get into music production. You may want to get into using GarageBand on a Mac, or you may want to get into Cakewalk or Ableton or anything like that. And even Ableton is a fantastic looper. Now, with things like obviously the keyboard you can get obviously things like audio interfaces like Artorias, Minifuse. That comes with a version of Ableton for free. It's a light version, but you can also use things like GarageBand, and you can also use other companies' different like digital audio workstations. And inside those audio workstations, somewhere there could be a looper. So it depends if you want to obviously loop things while you're recording, as in making a recording for bringing out into the world, aka using someone like DistroKid to do that, then that might be very, very useful for you. And also a looper is an amazing tool for just practice. Moving over to hardware loopers, then they're dedicated machines. And we start obviously with real simple loopers. You can get one pedal loopers. You can get loopers with drum machines, like for example, the circle looper, the Donna circle looper, I had to think then. And then you can use obviously things like that. And then you've got things obviously like the big hitters, like you've got things like Boss, you've got the Headrush, you've got loads of others I can't think right now, but there's loads of different companies obviously who make loop pedals, and then it's down to obviously what you need of that. Now, if you've been gifted one, or if you have had one sent to you by Santa or something like that, then I've got loads of videos on my channel where you can learn certain loopers, but also it can learn about how to loop. And the thing is, this is one thing that I'm going to be looking to do in the future of 2023, which is I've got 2 courses on my website. And this is not a sales pitch, I'm just letting you know that I have a course which is called How to Loop Like a Pro, and the other course is about the RC600. And I've got links in the description box for both. But I'm going to be bringing out 2 new courses in 2023. One is, I haven't got a title for it yet, but basically it's looping basics. It's looping 101 right at the very beginning, and that is going to come in as a mini course. It's not going to be a sort of 12-hour course or anything. You're going to be able to get through it very, very quickly, and it's more about structure, it's more about timing, and also how you get started. And I'm going to be making sure that we're going to do this on 3 different kind of wavelengths, as it were. You're going to have hardware loopers, software loopers, and those software loopers will be split into things like iPads with connecting buttons, and then also a computer. The second thing I'm going to be doing as well, which I've been asked for a lot, is I'm going to be having a look at making sure that we've got another course, and that course is going to be the sister course to the RC600. It's going to be about the RC505 Mark II. It has the same brain, but it is a very different looper. Now, I just brought out yesterday a video I wanted to film before Christmas, but unfortunately I got quite ill, and then I only filmed it yesterday and edited it yesterday and brought it out yesterday because I feel like I'm on catch up. And that was the Carol of the Bells, and that was using the RC505 Mark II with just the effects on there, nothing else, and just basically using that. So I wanted to show that you can use it. There's loads of people that think the RC505 Mark II or the RC505 Mark I, that you need to be some kind of DJ beatboxer. And actually, I know a lot of singer-songwriters who use the 505 system, the 202 as well, which is a 2-channel version, and they're tabletops, but they actually use them in conjunction with pedals. So we're going to have a look at that as well. And I'm going to be looking at it from a singer-songwriter point of view, because that's what I am. So those courses, I haven't got dates set for them yet, but we will be doing those courses within the first quarter of 2023. So then we'll have a total of 4 courses on the channel, on the website, sorry. And then obviously I will be plugging them massively when they come out, of course, because I want you guys to go and grab them. But in the meantime, what I would suggest is, if you're looking at looping, go through my channel and go through obviously the videos and the playlists I've made on that channel. And if you have got something like an RC600, or you've just opened an RC600 from under the Christmas tree, then go and grab my RC600 course. So it is jam-packed with pretty much everything you need to know. And I'm adding to it all the time. Every course I have on my website is a lifetime subscription. So when I'm not going to charge you more if you basically don't go and, like a month later or anything like that. I'm not doing subscription at all because it's not worth it, and it's not worth it to you. I don't want you to waste a load of money. I'd rather you pay for exactly what you need. So if you want to have a look at my course there, it's on johnpaulmusic.co.uk. Go and check that out. And then the other thing as well, as I said to you before, this live stream is sponsored, and it's sponsored by DistroKid. So distrokid.com/VIP/John Paul Music UK. Do yourself a favor, if you're a musician, go and sign up, right? Just sign up, because at the end of the day, you're getting 7% off your first annual membership. And it gives you that sort of like, as opposed to going, I'll do it later. And then it's March, then it's June, and you still haven't done anything. Go and sign up and dedicate yourself. Spend $16, and that will basically give you the head start to actually go out there and actually produce music. It's actually a commitment to yourself. So if you're looking at things like New Year's resolutions, if you actually want to have a New Year's music resolution, then go and get a DistroKid account. Okay, it's not going to cost you the earth. How much did your guitar cost? How much did your keyboard cost? How much is this going to cost you? In relativeness, practically nothing. And the fact is that this will actually help you then push out to all the different places. DistroKid have some amazing things. They have a thing which is called promo cards. And promo cards, when you create a release, it creates a hyperfollow page, which is a one-page place where you say, if I want to listen to it on Apple Music or I want to listen on Spotify, I just go to the hyperfollow page. You just give that one link, and then it shows all the different places that music is available on. But they also do promo cards. So then once you've uploaded your artwork, and then, which is easy to do, by the way, and what you can then do is you upload the song with the artwork and everything else, and it's ready. You can then make like 9x16 promo cards to go on Instagram. Then your music becomes available on Instagram, and you use that in the reel to promote your own music, and you get paid. How good is that? So at the end of the day, everyone keeps talking about like streams of music, and like streams of music on Spotify and how much they get paid. You also get paid for reels. You also get paid for stories. You also get paid for social media posts that are using your music, and that comes back to you. So I know this is obviously sponsored by DistroKid, but I do believe in it because it's one of those things where by paying for that service, you then go, right, I better use it. And I think that's a great thing. But as opposed to actually having to budget a release later in the year and go, oh, okay, well, it's going to cost $90 or $100 for this whole album. You've already paid it. You've paid it now, and you've paid it with some Christmas money that you got, and you can just pay $19.99. The alternative they have is another one called Musicians Plus. Now, Musicians Plus actually is $35.99, and you'll get 7% off that as well. And what that does as well is it gives you 2 different outfits. So that's what I've got. I've got me as John Paul, and I've got another outfit which is Tokyo Wasteland. It's me and my mate, and we do synthwave music. Me and Greg. Greg came up with the name Tokyo Wasteland. I didn't. I really wish I had. And what it does as well as it giving you the 2 outfits, then Greg signs up as well, and then obviously we can make sure we split the money, and the money goes to Greg and the money goes to me. But then also you can do things like you can schedule the date of the release, you can schedule the date of the pre-order date, you can schedule the iTunes pricing, and actually what the tiers are, and there's loads more as well. Then on top of that, you've got a label tier, which is if you're running up to 5 different outfits, or you're managing, and then there's different tiers of that as well, and you can go higher and higher if you're running like 100 bands. Or if you're running 20 bands, then fine. Or 20 artists. So what I would suggest you do is make a commitment to yourself, because you've got some great music out there, I'm sure you have. And at the end of the day, you want people to hear it, really. And you could bring up anything. You could upload 100 singles. You could upload an EP, an album, an acoustic album, a live album. So you could do anything. You can even do covers. Now you do have to pay a license for that cover, and that is per cover and it is per year. But I've done that, and I did a Foo Fighters cover, and I've uploaded that, and I'm going to do that for the one that I brought out yesterday. I'm going to actually bring out Carol of the Bells, and I'm going to upload that to DistroKid. Now that needs a license cover, and it's $12 a year. Now, it's not a lot of money when you think about the end of the day. $12 for the entire year. It's $1 a month. So for me, it's around about 80p a month to make sure that that stays there. Like, that's great, because even if it gives you, like, you're able to put that music out there, and then loads of people use that in, I don't know, their TikToks or their Instagram Reels, it gets noticed, and that's what it's all about. Now, the other thing as well, of course, is you want money back, and I get that. And the great thing about that is, because DistroKid are a music distributor, they go and fetch that for you. You may be getting plays on streaming sites that you don't even know exist. So here in the UK, if you say the word Pandora are these little charms that you wear, the jewellery charms, and we don't have Pandora the music service here in the UK, but it is available in other territories, and my music's being played on there as well. So without being able to have that reach, you're not going to be able to get that out there to as many places. And DistroKid are really, really good with that. They're really, really good with customer service as well, I believe. Anytime I've had a problem, I can just email them, and it's easy. And I haven't had that many problems, if I'm honest. So I'll stop promoting it. But I really genuinely do believe in it, because it's one of those things where if you pay for that service, it means you go, right, it's a kick to go, right, new year, new me, new 2023, and let's release a load of music. Do it. Why not? I don't think there's anything wrong with that, because at the end of the day, you're getting a platform to help you release music. You could put that on Facebook, you could put it on groups, you could put it on YouTube, you could put it on anywhere you like. But then obviously that way, by having the backing of these guys to help you, you've got some amazing tools. Anyway, right, I'll stop talking about that now. But thank you very much for DistroKid for sponsoring this video, this live stream. There we go, put that back up. Thank you very much to DistroKid for sponsoring this live stream. It helps me out at no cost to you. In fact, we're saving you money. We're saving you 7% off your first annual membership. Right, I'm going to have a cup of tea. And yes, it says best husband. This is what my wife got me. There we go. Right, moving on. Let's have a look what's going on in the chat. Hey man, there we go. Really like your vids, learned a lot of RC600 with you. Thank you very much. I'm very glad you did. It's sitting down there at the moment. There it is, just there. Can't put my hand in the way I want to. There's the RC600 sitting right there on its pedal board. The RC500 is just sitting there. And we're going to be doing some more videos on the 500, by the way, for people who think that we've lost a little bit of love for the 500. We're going to be doing a little bit more. The other thing we're going to be doing more of is this thing. This thing for 2022, when Boss brought this out, game changer. This thing is fantastic. This is the FS1WL. And what this is a foot switch, and it's a Bluetooth foot switch, and it has two different Bluetooths basically. So one goes to an instrument, and you can connect that to anything that's an instrument, things like the WIDI jack or anything like that. And the other one is smartphone stroke PC, so you can control things like iPads or your computer, so you can go play, pause, record. I did that with Logic, really useful. So Logic's right here, my computer's right here, and I was all the way over there, and then I just basically had this and go record, play, pause, whatever you want to do. You can program this up, and it comes with an app which is both Android and iOS, and it's dead easy. Plus it's got expansion, I showed this last time, but let's see if the camera will focus. I think it's focusing on my face. There we go. So you got control 1, 2, you got expression, MIDI out, and USB. You can still plug it in by DC, but it actually runs on AAA batteries, and about 14 hours per set of batteries, which is great. So this I love it. I think it's fantastic. And someone asked the question, does this work with like things like Loopy HD, Loopy Pro? Yes, it does. And because it's Bluetooth MIDI, which is around about 5 milliseconds, it's really, really quick. So yes, you could have this as record, next loop, stop the loop, whatever you want. It doesn't do double tap and doesn't do hold down. It's only single buttons. But I'm hoping they do some kind of update where that could happen, where it understands what a double tap and a hold is. But that would be really, really good. But this thing is fab. So well done, Boss, for bringing this out, because it just expands the functionality on even another looper. As long as you've got the right connector on the other end, you could plug it in hardware-wise by TRS MIDI, or you could actually use something like a WIDI jack, which I did in one of the videos, which was live wireless looping with this. Really, really good. V-Code. How we doing? That's a very good question. How to get cover image for a single or album. So, how to get a cover image. The simplest way I actually have done it in the past is, if you get a really good photograph, these things are amazing. iPhones, Android devices, Samsung devices, Motorola's, whatever. They're great. My latest single was based around a big, long country road, which is called the Wirral Way. And I took a photograph of that, and then I made sure it was cut into square. Dead simple, but you need some titles on there, you want a bit of other things on there, so I actually use a system which is called Canva, C-A-N-V-A, canva.com, or there's Canva the app, which is really, really good. So you can use things like that, and you can even find things like CD card shape sizes, or you've got sizes posting for YouTube or thumbnails and things like that. So Canva is really, really good if you want album artwork. It must be 3000 by 3000 pixels for DistroKid, and the reason for that is because when they actually send it out to all of these different places, then it's got to be the right size. It's fine if it can go smaller, but if it goes bigger and it looks really pixelated, it'll look rubbish. Imagine it looking at your album artwork on a telly, like a 40-50 inch telly. So it's got to be 3000 by 3000 pixels, but you can set that on Canva, and then all you need to do is download it. Now, there is a pro version of Canva you can pay for, but you can do everything on Canva for free. So I'll let you into a little secret. You'll see like a square logo with my face in it, just says JP underneath. That was completely designed on Canva for free. I didn't pay for that, it was just done on there. If you want, obviously, album artwork and you want more things on there, then of course you can go to places like Fiverr. You can ask people to design stuff for you. Totally up to you. I mean, it's down to what you want. So I hope that helps you. So to get cover image for a single or album, think about it, about what you want. My last main album, which was called Walking Home, is actually a photograph that was taken by my stepdaughter, and it was a photograph that was taken, I think it was taken on an iPhone 11 or an iPhone 8 even, I can't remember. And it's a beautiful sunset photograph. I didn't even edit it, I just put my name at the top, the name Walking Home underneath, made it square with using things like Canva, and that's it. That's all it is. What's that? What do you think about Distropic? I don't know what Distropic is. Distropic. What is Distropic? Explain to me in 10 words or less, V-Code, what Distropic is, while I massively quickly... Oh, I'm reading that completely wrong. DistroPic. Yeah, so DistroPic. Oh god, I was like, what's Distropic? I was like, DIS and then space tropic. It's DistroPic, isn't it? This is DistroKid's AI generator, right? Oh, JP. These are like AI generated things. So it's distropic.com, isn't it? So if you go to DistroPic, you can actually get AI generated stuff. Now, it's hit and miss because, of course, it's down to what you think, and you can download them. Thank you for that. It made me laugh so much. Stupid boy. The thing with the AI stuff is you have to be very specific, and it may take you, a good hour or so. If you're not obviously inclined to use your own photographs, or if you don't want to use, draw something on like an iPad or anything like that, if you're not that way inclined, you don't feel any kind of artwork that you want to push out yourself, if you just literally want a computer to generate it for you, that is a way you can do it. Absolutely. You can use things like that. There are now these AI generators that will generate images for you, but you have to be careful. I did one which actually had me sort of like, I had to submit some pictures with Lensa AI, and had me holding a guitar, and one or two of them came back and it had like 2 arms like on the neck, and one with like fingers missing. All kinds. So you have to be careful, and obviously like trial and error with things like that. But yeah, DistroPick, obviously part of DistroKid. It's one of their little arms that they have. And the other one they have is DistroVid. So if you're planning on making a music video to go with the music you're releasing, you can actually use DistroVid. Now, to release a music video is really expensive. To get it up onto things like, sort of like is it Vimeo and things like that? Yeah, it's really expensive. Whereas DistroVid, what they've done is they've done $99 for the whole year. Now that still sounds expensive, but believe me, you can. One platform can charge you way more than that just for one video. So yeah, they do that as well. That's a very good question. Hi, Dark Heart. Hi, John. Is your RC600 course still available? Yes, it's still available. It's always available. You can actually buy it as a one-off payment, or you can now do it as 4 monthly installments. So it's $197, or you can do 4 payments of $50. And there are over now 50 videos in that course. So yes, you're more than welcome to obviously go to johnpaulmusic.co.uk and then just scroll down, and you will see the loop station pedal course there. So there we go. So if you go to johnpaulmusic.co.uk, scroll down, and then you'll start to see obviously things like latest videos, but keep going and you'll see my courses are there. The other course that's there is How to Loop Like a Pro. That is a mini course. That is obviously more about looping structure no matter which looper you're using. And then I've said before in the live stream, we're going to be doing 2 more courses. One course is all about looping basics, the very, very basics of looping, going right to the very basics. And the other one is the RC505 Mark II. So I'm going to be looking at doing them in the first quarter of 2023. So yeah, so there we go. But yes, to answer the question, yes, my RC600 loop pedal course is there by all means, and you're welcome. They're welcome, no problem at all. That's absolutely fine. So, what do we get? What do we get for Christmas? Did everyone get anything for Christmas? Give us a shout out. What did you ask for? Did you get it? Did you get things you weren't expecting? One thing I got, which I'm very, very happy about, is, and this is a shout out to Michael Nicholas. This is his book, which is called Solo Musician. This is Solo Musician 2. He's got new tips, stories, and solo musician interviews. There's also a number 1 as well. And this is a fantastic book, and it's basically a look at how you can make money being a solo acoustic musician. It's a fantastic book. I'm not plugging it. I kind of am, but I'm not sponsored or anything, been told to do this. I just think it's a great, great book. So very, very happy I got that. And then also being a musician first, and obviously having a YouTube channel for a little while, I got this, which is the 2nd edition of Sean Cannell's YouTube Secrets book. So if I'm obviously trying to figure out the YouTube game and maybe go full time with YouTube, hopefully. Is that what you want to see? Maybe. So yeah, I got asked for that book, and Santa delivered. So very happy about that. The other thing that I've been playing with as well, which I've got a video which is going to come out at the end of this week, well, before 2023 is in, 2022 is out, is this thing. I'll just give you a second to figure this out. This is a microphone. This is called the Periscope, and this is the world's first microphone that has a built-in compressor. I won't go too far into it. It looks crazy. It's full-on steampunk. And it's beautiful. So it's heavy as well because it's all like sort of metal. It's a great piece of kit. Very unique and very unique use cases for it. But I've had a lot of fun with it. So I'd like to thank Scope Labs, who make the Periscope. It's hard to say all in one word. For sending this out to us. We can't keep it. I've got to send it back to them. So it's on rental at the moment, but I don't want to give it back. It's really, really good. So there's a video coming out this week for that, and that is almost completed. So yeah, and by the way, for that microphone, check out the box it comes in. It's insane. It's like a treasure chest. It's amazing. It's cool. Sorry, I'm spoiling the video now. But yeah, anyway. So there's loads of audio examples that I pair it against this microphone, another microphone, so you can hear the difference and hear what it sounds like. The other one that's actually arrived, which I'm going to be doing a review on, and I'm going to be competing against this. Now, this is the Aston Stealth, which I love. Okay, and I do love this microphone for multiple reasons, because it's got 4 separate circuitries through, so it's got 4 different sounds, not just clever EQing. It's like 4 separate mics in one. It's got automatic cloud lifter, automatic pop shield. I just love it, and I've always said I love this over another microphone that a lot of people tend to use, the Shure SM7B. Now, this arrived about 2 days ago, 3 days ago, 4 days ago, basically just before Christmas. Now, this is the K688 by Fifine. Now, Fifine have sent me this because I used the Fifine K8 as my looping microphone, and it's just over there. And Fifine basically reached out and said, "Do you want to try this?" And I said, "Yes." And it looks a lot like another microphone, doesn't it? It looks very, very similar to a certain microphone. So it's called the Amplitank Podcast Microphone K688 by Fifine. Oh, by the way, I've been pronouncing that wrong for years. Someone said to me, it's fine, but it's Fifine. But who knew? There. Oh, there you go. But apparently it's fine. But I'm going to say Fifine. Anyway, going to do a review of that, and we're going to actually pitch that against this one. And we're going to have a look at that later in 2023. So yeah, so there's a lot going on at John Paul Music UK studios, as it were, or towers, or home, or whatever you want to call it. But the other thing as well is, I'd say I'm always going to be looking at looping as the forefront of everything that we do. And one thing I want to look at is actually creating songs, full songs, with looping. I know that sounds obvious, but creating songs from nothing. And that's what looping really, really is to me. And it's more about the things of, like, there's a couple of songs that I've created that came from looping. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have a look at deconstructing 1 or 2 of my songs and show you where the loop started, where the idea started, and how it turned into a full-fledged song. And full-fledged song. I can't speak today. Doing a live stream and I can't speak. It's useful, isn't it? So we're going to be having a look at that. We're going to be having a look at taking a loop idea, which is quite fleeting and quite small, and turning that into a full-blown song. For example, my latest song, which is available on all streaming sites, called Trying to Say Hello, came from a loop idea. It just came from a very simple loop idea, and I had some lyrics as an idea for this song, and that song I produced and recorded down, and now it's out, available on all good streaming sites. If you go and look for Trying to Say Hello by John Paul, you'll find it. And that, obviously, I'm using things like DistroKid to do that. And yeah, there's loads of different ways we can do this, but what I want to do is I want to show you it from a singer-songwriter idea, and how we put that idea into a full-blown song. So we're going to be doing a couple of videos like that in 2023 as well. We're going to obviously do some live streaming, of course, like this. And we'll do some live streaming where I'm playing. I'm going to be trying to do as many Tuesday tunes as I can. I haven't been able to do as many as I wanted to do. And what I want to do is I want to do a couple of Tuesday tunes, and therefore we can actually then play some tunes. So if you're listening, then you can just tune in, pun intended, and have a listen. But then I'll also be breaking down how I create those tunes on a loop pedal, or if I'm just playing them, and then we'll be doing that as well, and then have a little bit more of a Q&A. So, yes, the other thing as well is, if I haven't heard this already, this live stream is sponsored, and it's sponsored by our friends over at DistroKid. DistroKid are a music distribution company. You give your songs to them, they push it out to all the music streaming sites around the world, including places like TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, loads of others as well. So have a look at this link that's on the screen right now, and when you do a release of a single or an EP or an album, it costs you money, and it costs you per release for most places. DistroKid don't do that. What they do is they charge you one price per year, and it starts at $19.99. And with this link, it helps me out. Thank you very much. But at no additional cost to you, because what it does, it even saves you money. It gives you 7% off your first annual membership. So what I'm saying to people right now is make a commitment to yourself. For 2023, go, I'm going to release some music. 1 track, 10 tracks, 100 tracks, and sign up. And obviously I'm telling you to sign up, of course I am, but I'm telling you to sign up for your benefit as well. Because at the end of the day, one thing we need more good music. And if you've got absolute bangers that are waiting to actually be released, then think about releasing them now, and just release them and put them in the system straight away. You're going to get paid obviously for every stream that happens, but also at the same time you're going to be able to release as much music as you want in 2023. So $19.99, 7% off with this link. What does that come to? It comes to about $16-17. For me, it's around about 15 quid. So 15-16 pounds, something like that. So at the end of the day, it means that you can actually release as much music as you want to in 2023. You don't have to think about the cost of what it's going to cost you to release another album maybe in July, because you've already paid for it. You've already done it right now. If you go on a night out, how much does it cost to go to the cinema? How much does it cost to go on a night out with a decent meal? Then you can actually pay $19.99, and you can have the entire year to release as much music as you want. Anyway, thank you very much to DistroKid for sponsoring this video, this live stream, and obviously click the link. It's in the description box on both YouTube and Facebook. We are also live streaming on Twitch, LinkedIn, and Twitter as well. So give us a shout, say hello, and we can obviously have a chat. Adrian, been a while since I stopped in to say hi. Keep up the good word, my friend. Thank you very much. Yeah, I haven't been live streaming over the past kind of 2 weeks. Just a little bit of a COVID thing going on in the house. So, yeah, it was a bit of a quiet Christmas. But we're all okay now. It's all good. And Adrian loves DistroKid. So there we go. So DistroKid have now obviously, ventured out into things like DistroVid, and as we've had a laugh with it, is DistroPick as well. They've got loads of other things as well. They've got loads of other little arms that they do, which is really, really interesting. So DistroKid, they do things like, for example, there we go. What are you doing? There we go. They have an actual other website which is called slaps.com. Okay, so have a look at slaps.com once you've used my link, of course, and signed up. But have a look at slaps.com, and what you do is you actually put your music up there, and people will vote on it and just like give you advice and things like that, and go like this, don't like this, And I like that because it's more like if you play all your music to your friends and family, they go, "Oh, that's great, yeah." When actually they're secretly thinking, oh, you could turn that guitar down. At least with slaps.com, you get an honest feedback. I quite like that. That's quite a good thing. So, no one yet has actually been said in the chat what they got for holidays, if they've had a good Christmas or not. So, please let me know. Did you have a good Christmas? Are you having a good time off? Are you back in work? Are you listening to me secretly without them knowing? Let me know in the chat. That'd be quite good. So, one thing as well is that we're going to have a look at, as I said, different courses. The other thing as well that I want to do is I want to go back to going into songwriting. And for me, I'm going to have a look at making sure that I release a new album. a whole album in 2023, but I'm going to do it a little bit differently. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to release a load of singles first, and then those singles are going to make the album, and I'm going to take you through that journey with me. So we're going to have a look at doing that for 2023. I'm going to be giving YouTube a lot more time as well, so I'm going to be making sure that we've got a lot more things going on, and also I got quite a lot of feedback, which is good feedback, about YouTube Shorts. So I've been using YouTube Shorts in a couple of different ways where people have asked things on a long form content. So I've got like videos that are like 20 minutes long, and people say, how do you do this? I'm like, that's actually good for people to know. So I will answer it with a YouTube short, which is great because it's like just one question answered in 60 seconds or less, and I'll show you how to do it as well. So I did that for the RT600, and loads of people seem to like that. So if you think that's a good idea, I think it is, because I've had people going, love this, that's great. So I'm going to carry on doing that, but for other things, and I hope that is helpful to you as well. Adrian got the Ember mug. Is that the one? That's the one that's like got a little plate, and it's a USB like heat up mug. Is that right? Like, that's really cool. Honestly, for someone who does like video editing and doing hours of like music stuff sitting at a desk, and you come to your mug and you're like, oh, it's cold. Like, that's awesome. Love that. That's really nice. Nice. John likes it. Nice. Rechargeable. Hang on, what? It's got its own battery in it. No. What, it keeps it? So hang on. It doesn't just sit on a plate. It keeps it warm on it. See, this is the future right here. You set the temperature with an app. Of course you do. There's an app for everything. That's amazing, Adrian. That's cool. That's nice. I like that. The only problem is I'm just thinking like certain fluids, if you're just like constantly keeping it warm, would it just like go stale? I don't know. Yeah. But I know I do like the idea of that. It's a mug that keeps stuff warm. Yeah, that's it. So that's cool. I like that. Nice. The only thing with the Ember ones, I've seen, what I want is one that's like huge, like a big vat of tea, just to keep you going all day long. It might go a bit stodgy after a while though, that's the only thing. Cool. Wicked. Now, the other thing as well is, when we started this YouTube channel, I started this YouTube channel back in 2009, but I didn't really do anything with it. But when I started doing this YouTube game, as it were, and I know I'm on other platforms and everything else, hi to other platforms, by the way, hi to Facebook, hi to Twitch, hi to TikTok and everyone else, and Twitter and LinkedIn and everyone else. But my goal was to make sure that we did a video a week. That was it. Okay. And answering questions about popular things like how do you record on GarageBand and how do you do looping, and that's it. One thing that I was really aware of was how much time it was taking me. So I'm very happy to say that I'm going to be giving more time to this and what I'm doing, as I up my hours in the YouTube game. Hence the book, YouTube Secrets, and that's why I'm gonna try and. My goal is obviously to do this for as much and as long as I can. I fully enjoy it, and I think it's a really, really cool thing to do. It's not easy, but also it is fun when it works. It's really, really good. So the other thing that really, really helps me is people who sponsor the channel. Now, this is a mad shout out, but this is a bit of a shout out to all the sponsors who have sponsored the channel for 2022 and before that as well. I've never really said this before, and I just want to say thank you, because there's people like Boss, there's people like DistroKid, of course, there's people like Fifine, there's people like Artoria, there's people like I don't know, Gravity Stands. They've sent things over to review, and it's helped me right now. This camera right now is my camera, but it's actually on a Gravity Stand arm, so without that I wouldn't be able to have it exactly where I want to. So I just want to say thank you. Sonic Cake is another one. They've sent a load of pedals. We've got some more pedals to review with them soon. That's another video that's coming out. And I just want to say a massive thank you to all the sponsors of this channel, because they have actually helped me do what I do, and also carry on. Some of the biggest sponsors, of course, we're helping with, and one of the new sponsors for 2023 is going to be very, very exciting. It's going to be a lot of fun, and it's going to help me to be able to give more time to YouTube, and the other platforms as well. Obviously, by re-pumping out all my material. So I just want to say a massive thank you for both me and my family, because you won't believe how much it means to us by helping us. Another sponsor is these guys. If you don't know what this is, this obviously is Star Wars. Where have you been? But the people who make these t-shirts are QWERTY, and we've got a link for QWERTY, which is basically the t-shirts I wear through all my videos. So there's a link there. If you want to buy that t-shirt, you can go and get that t-shirt. So I'm always wearing quirky t-shirts, and they sponsored as well, which is really, really good. So without getting too mushy, thank you, because it helps me do what I do, and just want to say thank you for that. And here's the 2023 cheers, because we're going to be doing a lot more. Now this is Ask Me Anything. Ask Me Anything. Basically, you can do exactly that. You can ask me anything. What's happening in 2023? Where do you get that t-shirt from? How do you release your music? Ask me anything you want. I don't mind. It's fine. For 2023, obviously, the future of looping, we're looking into that, and we're going to be looking into different looping scenarios, which we've already done, but we're going to go way deeper than that. I'm going to be making a lot more music as well. So I'm going to be making an album, but I'm going to be making an album in bits, and then I'm going to be releasing them as singles. And then the end of the year, what I want to have is an album. Maybe not even at the end of the year. I'm hoping maybe by the summer, and we can actually then go, right, take all these bits and make it into an album. And I'm going to take you on that journey with me. I'm going to show you how I do it, so you can literally just copy me and just rinse and repeat that process. That's what I want. I want 1,000 more tracks out there in the world, because we all need more music. That's the nice thing about music. You can just carry on making more. Cheers from Brazil. Wow. Hi. Good morning. Brazil? Is it morning there? Good morning, good afternoon. Well, good afternoon here. It's where are we? It's 3:53 p.m. in the UK. So good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. Brazil. Oh, love to go to Brazil. Nice. But yeah, so we're going to be doing a lot more things for 2023. And what I want to know from you guys is, what do you think the future of looping is? And we're talking about live gigging, because more and more places are opening up again, which is great. But also you've got using looping as a way of creating ideas and creating recordings. The recording quality on these new loopers now, 16-bit is the bare minimum. And you've got loads of different places that loads of different, obviously, qualities you can get. Now, Wyoming? Am I saying that right? Wyoming, USA? Is that right, Adrian? Is it Wyoming? He'll tell me in a minute. But yeah, there's loads of different ways we can use looping. So, and as I say, the quality of recording, most people don't realize that some loopers they have already in their arsenal is already an audio interface. So you can actually use that to plug into your device, and then you've already got an audio interface, and you could transfer the loop across and then put it into something like GarageBand, or even Logic, or Ableton, or anything like that, AUM, and you can start creating your music. So I'm going to be creating music in a couple of different ways. One is with the looper. Yes, I did say it right. Whoo! The true Wild West, close to Yellowstone. See, of course, you say Yellowstone and all you think about is Paramount Plus. And yeah, well, I do now, after watching that series. But yeah, nice area of the world. Nice. Wild West, cool. How's the weather over there, though? Because I know there was this massive storm. Is it affecting you, Adrian? I hope not. I hope it's not affecting anyone anymore, but I think it's still topical. So we're going to be recording these songs in a couple of different ways, and I'm going to be recording them with a computer, but also with things like an iPad, and also I'm going to even record and try and do one song and record and mix it on a phone, and then we're going to have this all so you can see the process for a couple of different ways of recording and maybe creating a song just from a very simple idea and then running with it completely. Adrian says we are used to extreme cold and storms. It's a way of life. Nice. I do like snow though. I do like, you know, lots of snow like Canada gets and things like that. But extreme cold and storms, don't know about that. Yeah, fair enough. If it's a way of life, maybe that means you have to stay indoors and create loads of music, Adrian. That's why. And I can now see why you've got an ember mug to keep you warm. So you're holding it like this. Set the temperature with the app, will you? Yeah, I can see why you could do that. Yeah. So, guys, obviously, you're welcome to ask me anything. Obviously, anything about the channel, anything that we're going to be doing in 2023. I can't explain what we're doing anyway, but I got a couple of nice twists and turns along the way. So I'm planning quite a few things, and we're going to have a look at making sure that we reach out to more people. Now, I know a number is just a number, but I'm very, very proud of the fact that yesterday we went 15,500 subscribers, and I just want to thank every single person. I know that we always look at a number and it turns over and you go, yeah, 15,000, but there's like the 14,954th person, thank you. The 34th person, thank you. It's probably my dad. But I'm just really, really thankful for every single person that subscribes, because this is not something 5 years ago I thought I'd be doing. I didn't think I'd be live streaming with a YouTube channel and talking to you guys. So I'm always very grateful about, obviously, people who subscribe because they've either found something that they really, really like, or they found that they like my performances, or anything of that in between. And hopefully the content I'm giving you is valuable to you, and if it is, thank you very much. Obviously on things like YouTube, there's now things like super thanks, which people use to thank me, which is really, really nice, and thank you so much for doing that. There's also things like buy me a coffee. There's people buy my course, and because they want the course, and that's great, but also at the same time that really helps me out. So I just want to say thank you, and it's I want to give back, because I want to make sure that we get to 20,000 subscribers, 25,000 subscribers, more, of course, but I'm not going to get to them if I don't give good content and don't give good advice. So I want to make sure that what we're actually pumping out of here is, you know, good. So you watch it and also you get something out of it. So you go, I just need to turn that thing on and then that bit works. So I just want to be able to do that for you. And we're going to be playing around with a couple of pieces of equipment. That's all I can say so far. I'm not allowed to say anymore. For 2023, it's going to be good. So it's going to be fun. Anyway, Josh, for me this year, I'm getting back to basics with looping, focusing more on song arrangement and performance, mostly acoustic guitar, rather than a huge set of multiple instruments and effects. Yeah, cool. That's it. That's nice. I like that, because let me put it to you this way, Josh. If you were to play somewhere and then there's suddenly a power cut, and then they all put candles on instead, so the power cut's gone, but the musician's still here, don't worry. Could you play your song with enough feeling and meaning and play it enough fully without the looper? And that's where a lot of my songs, I need to make sure that I can play them just like in an acoustic open mic night, okay? And then the words and the lyrics still come through. Looping's cool and looping's fun, and sometimes looping can be looked a little bit like a showpiece. But oh look, he does looping, is the Ed Sheeran thing. But it's like me with the YouTube channel. If the content isn't good, people won't listen. So it's like, is the song the arrangement of the song, is it good? So I like that. I like that idea of getting back to basics with looping, so focusing on song arrangement and performance. I really like that, Josh. That's really, really nice. Yeah, I wish you well with it. So I'm going to be going on a bit of a journey myself for 2023 where we create this album. And I've got a couple of ideas already, but I want to make sure that we've got enough songs to make an album. And I'm just going to be making a load of singles and releasing them with DistroKid. And then once we get enough, I will take those and make an album out of it. And then that's the album. There we go. Maybe we make more than an album. I don't know. We could make an acoustic version of the same album. So just the acoustic side of it. No looping, no studio, as it were. No multiple tracks. And I could release that through DistroKid as well, and it's not going to cost me any more money. So do you see why I actually am a fan of being sponsored by DistroKid? Because it means I'm not going to cost me any more if I just go, do you know what, these 12 songs or 10 songs, I'm going to create acoustic versions of all of them in one afternoon, and then mix them a little bit just so they sound a little bit nice and sweet, and keep it nice and simple, and release that as well. So I've then got a whole of the album I've released, and it's not cost me any more. So, if you want to do exactly the same thing, then of course we have a link that's in the description box. It's also on the screen, just there. And that's distrokid.com/VIP/John Paul Music UK. Now, when you click that, it'll take you to DistroKid if you've never been there before. And it also will take you there with that special link. And then you get 7% off your first annual membership with them. And it's $20, $19.99, or $35.99 if you go for the Musicians Plus. I really recommend that one, not because it's more money, because basically you can have 2 different outfits. So that's what I have, and there's me as John Paul, and then we've got the other outfit is Tokyo Wasteland, me and my mate Greg, who I will see on New Year's Eve. Finally, I haven't seen him for like weeks, and we've got Tokyo Wasteland. And then the other thing as well is you can schedule things. So you can schedule the date of the release. And that's really important, I think. Because if you just do the normal one, it's fine. But as soon as you hit go, it'll try and push it out as quickly as possible. And that's fine. But if you want to just hold it back maybe a couple of weeks while you do a bit of promo work, that's really important. Because you could turn around and go, it's coming out on the 1st of June. And you know it's going to go bang and it's going to release it. And also it means you can do a pre-sale on things like Spotify, or pre-save, sorry, on Spotify pre-sale. Listen to me. And what that means is then if loads of people like get it on day one, it tells the algorithms then basically, oh, listen to this track because it's been released, and you might get out there on like sort of like playlist Fridays and things like that. So have a look at the link. And that will give you 7% off your first annual membership. And then they've got loads of promos that are in there that are part of that package. It's free, even the $19.99 package. And there's loads in there, which is really, really good. And you get paid, and your music goes to like 160 different places all at once. And you can just tell people, go to this website, which is called a hyperfollow page, and then they can just pick where they want to listen to your music. It's dead simple. All you just need is a bit of artwork and your music, and even if it's a cover, you can just get a cover license from DistroKid. They'll sort that out for you. So there we go. So thank you to DistroKid for sponsoring this live stream. Didn't say video. Click the link and start distributing your music today. There we go. So, did anyone get a looper for Christmas? That's my question. Now, if you're watching this on a replay, put it in the comment section below. And everyone who is watching at the moment, I can see how many are watching. Just give this a like. Give this live stream a like right now. If you give it a like while it's live, it pushes it out to more people, and then they can join us right now. It would be really nice. If you want to have a look at, I was talking about designing artwork. Now, I'm not the best sort of designer in the planet, of course. So I did that, which is my little logo, and that's fine, and that's a square logo. That was designed on Canva, so Canva, canva.com, or you can get the app. It's free, I don't pay for it, and they design things like that. I designed my latest album artwork using Canva, but with a photograph. So really, really easy to do. Really, really nice and easy. So if you've got any questions for me, please obviously ask me. You're more than welcome to. And this is going to be the last live stream of 2022. But that's okay, because 2023 is around the corner. Now, there's loads of different things that we could talk about. And of course, the big one is looping in 20. I'm going to be using not just hardware loopers, I'm going to be software loopers as well. In fact, we're going to be diving much deeper into Loopy Pro. And Loopy Pro is a huge looper when you look at it and what. But you can pull as well. And we're going to start there. We're going to start with making it nice and simple. Plugging in a couple of things. I'll show you the cables that you need, the hardware that you need to plug something like a microphone into Loopy Pro to get you up and running. And then we'll go deeper into it from there, because I think that's the best way forward. Then if you've maybe just got an iPad for Christmas, or an Android device, or a phone that you want to then start using for looping, then things like looping apps, regardless of whether it's Loopy Pro or not, then you obviously need a little bit of equipment, a little bit of advice to get it up and running. So there we go. What's this? I usually create long and instrumental songs, different from the market standard. I do it based on the old cliche that I make music that I would like to hear, but then it didn't exist yet. I like that. That's cool. Nice. And then Projecto, what was that? I released weekly videos showing the creation of an improvised song from start to finish. Do you have any tips for finding my audience? Or is there really no audience for me? Of course there's an audience for you. So what we need to do is, are we talking about improvised songs that are looped? Are we talking about looped improvised songs? My advice, which is YouTube advice, which is not what I normally give out, but YouTube advice is, if you put improvisation number 4, no one's going to search for that. No one's going to search for improvisation number 7 or number 9 or things like that. What you can do is you can say, maybe the video could be called, here's how I created this improvised song. How to create an improvised song from scratch. How to. So from this guy right here, and obviously this guy, but and obviously Benji, but Sean Cannell, Think Media, they always say, answer specific questions. Think about every other social media site out there, okay? YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, TikTok, LinkedIn, Twitter, right? There's only one that's a search engine. Everyone else is entertainment. YouTube is a search engine because it's owned by Google. Everyone else is entertainment. If I search something on Instagram, I probably won't find it or won't find multiple versions of the same thing that I'm looking for. If you search for it on YouTube, you'll find multiple versions of the same thing you're talking about. If I put in audio Arturia mini fuse, then I'll find all the videos to do with mini fuse. So it is a search engine as well as a social media site, if that makes sense. So have a look at, if you were looking for an audience, tell your audience what you're doing or answer a specific question. So if you're talking about improvised song from start to finish, how I created an improvised song from start to finish. How I created an improvised song using loop pedals. Not, here's how you do it, here's how I did it. And that's really, really big and changing for a lot of people. So that's how I would do it. That I would turn around and say, 5 tips on creating on helping you create songs, improvised songs, things like that. So just come up with like 20 questions around your subject, and then all of a sudden you've got 20 videos around your subject, because that's the answer to your videos. And you don't have to go, hi, welcome to such and such, here's how we're going to do this, blah blah. You can just literally do what you're doing, but the title of this of the video is exactly that. I hope that makes sense. Anyway, Paolo, greetings from Italy. In your opinion, can the Boss R600 substitute a full pedal board and a mixer? I would like to travel light. Oh, yes. Yes and no. Yes, it can, with a slight caveat. Sorry, my My camera's doing something weird. It's fine. Can it substitute a full pedal board and a mixer? Sort of. What I'd highly recommend is if it's the mixer part, then depending on obviously what you've got right now, an RC600, obviously, if for those who aren't aware, where have you been? An RC600 can do 6 loops. It has 6 ins and 8 outs, and then you can out the instruments separately, the loops separately if you want to. And then you can either do one of two things, and this is where the mixer bit comes in. You could either send the outs, the 8 outs, because it's 6 jacks and 1 stereo, by the way, that's the headphone port. You can use that as 2 separate outs. You could send them out to a mixer. Don't know what that was, but that's it. Why has this suddenly gone all really yellowy? Is it gone really yellowy on the screen? It looks really... Oh, I know what it is. It's fine. I'm such an idiot. Night shift just turned on my computer, and I'm like, why has everything gone yellowy? There we go. It's not yellow anymore for me. Right, yeah. So you can output 6 or 8 tracks to a mixer, and then that mixer then goes out to the PA. Okay. The alternative you can do is you can use MIDI. What you can do is you can use something like the Korg, the tiny little Korg mixer, which is, I can't remember the name of it off the top of my head. Let's go to Korg's website really quickly. Something like a MIDI mixer. And what you can do is computer gear. There we go. Where are you? Nano Control, the Nano Control 2. So you could use something like that, and basically it's a slimline USB controller with little faders, and it's not very big at all. So you could use that, plug it into the RC600 via USB with the right connector, and then tell it to basically control it via MIDI. Now you have to use things like assigns and stuff like that, but what it means is you can actually then have 6 controls. How many does it do? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It does 8. So it does 8 controls. So you could have it so where you can have up to 16 assigns. So you could do 1 control for each loop, and then for your input for your microphone, and then an instrument, and then you master. You could do things like that. Alternatively, you can do what I do to control the volume of the loops, which is actually use things like an expression pedal. So if you go to my Throne page, which is in the links in the description box below, where it says buy a looper, you can buy a looper here. Or have I got it written down? No. You can actually then control the volume of the loops with the expression pedal. So if it's on a board, it's just there, but then your microphone and guitar are not affected by that. So that's by using just 2 assigns, by telling it to do that, and then that way you can control the volume of the loops. If you go into like a place, you've got your settings sort of right. Like your ins, your sound ins, you got them sort of right, but then obviously you just need to adjust it a little bit lower because it's quite boomy, or it's quite a small environment, or it's a big environment. You adjust it. You can just do it all by the pedal. So that's what I do, and depending on going into different venues. Now, if you're going in with the same speaker, that's great, because of course it's your speaker, you've rigged it up, it's basically taking your own mixer anyway. If you're using other people's PA, it takes a little bit longer, because of course you need to just do fine adjustments to the output. Don't adjust the input will be fine. Just adjust the output, because then that way you can just affect, maybe it's just a bit boomy, so you just want to turn the bass down of the output, of the main output, and that's it. So it's up to you, whether you want to control the mix yourself, or whether you want to just go, I'm going to give you a stereo pair out, and then just control the whole range through the output of that. I hope that makes sense. So yes, so that's it. Could substitute, but then you kind of have to bend down and control it that way, or using something like, sorry, I've got it up there now, something like that, the Korg Nano Control 2. It's really, really small, MIDI slimline USB controller, and then that way you could have that, maybe just get a little stand that goes on your mic stand, hold it there, and then that way you could move it that way. Hope that makes sense. Projecto Primata. Thanks for the answer, friend. Definitely implement these changes. The title really hasn't been very attractive. If you can then take a look at my channel and leave some feedback, it would be great. Everyone who's on the live stream, everyone who's on the replay, go to Projecto Primata right now and subscribe. Simple as that. A rising tide lifts all boats. I'm not one of these people who goes, oh, don't subscribe to him, but definitely subscribe to me. Subscribe to everyone. And subscribe to everyone, because what you're going to do when you watch my videos, once you've finished binge watching all mine, you want to look for other ones. Go and watch Projecto Primata? Am I saying that right? I hope so. Go and subscribe. Go and watch their videos, and maybe watch some of their improvisations. Maybe suggest titles. How about that? That'd be good. That'd be cool. And everyone subscribe to Paolo as well. I want to see your slimline down setup, so I'm going to go and have a look after I've finished. That'd be really good. You're more than welcome. Cat emoji. Love it. Very good. So yes, so there's loads of different ways we can do things, isn't there? I mean, we can have a look at, in 2023, just if we are musicians or performers or entertainers, have a look at all the different ways we're titling our videos. I'm going to do that as well. Go through all my titles, because you could have the best video on the planet, right? The best video on the planet. But if you've got it called Inspiration Number 422, I ain't going to click on it. It's as simple as that. And also, if the thumbnail is just like that, it's not inviting. Think of it like, basically, if you're old enough to remember things like Blockbusters, and you went into Blockbuster, go, right, what DVD, what video are we going to watch tonight and rent tonight? You go on the title and you go on the picture. It's exactly what you do on YouTube. So YouTube thumbnails and the title are everything. And I'm nowhere near the best at that, but I'm still learning massively. But that's a journey that everyone has, certainly if you're doing it on YouTube. With social media, definitely. So I'm going to be doing a lot more things with looping. I'm going to be doing a lot more things with music. I'm going to be doing a lot more things with live streams. And also, we're going to be doing a lot more things with YouTube Shorts. Now, the other thing I want to be talking to you about before we finish this live stream up, please ask me your questions, because I'm only here for a limited amount of time. So if you want to ask a question before the new year, then ask it now. One thing I'm going to be talking about as well is podcasts. Now, I obviously do live streams, and we do a lot of question and answer and things like that, but I'm also going to be going into podcasts. Now, I do have a podcast, which is the John Paul Music UK podcast. So if you haven't heard it yet, then please go and subscribe, go and have a listen. There's some great interviews that were taken from the videos of YouTube, and also a couple of things from me, like my first gig with the RC600, how it went. And my insights into that and everything else. So if you are interested in that, obviously go ahead and have a listen. But we're going to be bringing the podcast into 2023, because then we want to start doing things like video podcasts. And then we're going to be having a look at doing more interviews. I want to carry on doing the How Do You Loop video series, which is fun. Because it's always a good laugh, and it's a lot to edit, because we always end up being like a 45-minute interview, but I love them. I think it's a great insight into the world of people who do looping. So if you have any requests of people I should contact for the How Do You Loop series, then of course let me know in one way or another. That'd be really good. What was that? Oh, not yet. That's a good question, Josh. So, are you using the Boss FS1 WL for gigs? And if so, how? Not yet, but I will be. I've got a couple more things I want to do on this. And then the other thing as well is that I want to make sure the assigns work from the RC600 side. But more importantly, I'm going to use this with the RC505. So I'm going to mess around with the RC505 and this, and see if I can do recording with it. Now I've got 3 buttons, and if the assigns can do multiple things with this, then I'm going to be a happy person. But I can also still plug in things like an FS6, FS7 pedal there. Now I did that in the video where I had 2 more buttons and an expression pedal on this, and I can get that into like a little Boss like BCB 30 or something, then that's going to be fantastic. But yeah, I'm going to be using the 505 with this because I think that would be really, really useful. It depends on the delay. There isn't much delay, if I'm honest. I think it's good for looping, and the buttons are not clicky. Can you hear that? Practically nothing, and they light up as well, which is really nice. So it's just an indication of what you've pressed. So I'd quite like to see if I can actually just get another one, and then I've got 6, and then I can pair them both together. I don't know if that would work, but if I just did it independently, then they'd be different CC numbers to the other 3. So yeah, we just have 6 CC numbers, and that'd be really, really good. I do like this thing. I think it's really clever. I actually use it for recording as well. So my computer's in this corner of the room, and normally I put a microphone over there, and then I normally go record and run. So now I don't have to. I can use Logic Remote on my phone, which is, by the way, you can use that with GarageBand as well if you've got GarageBand. You can use an app called Logic Remote to remotely control GarageBand and Logic to hit record, which is really handy. So if you're set up over there with your microphone, your stand and everything, then you can just go control, click. But with this, I can actually go record, delete that one, playback, whatever, and then I can just do it with a foot pedal. Dead easy. Nice. Dead simple. And that's just by flicking it over to HID mode as opposed to MIDI mode. So yeah, really, really clever. But yes, gig-wise, I'd probably more likely use this with the 505 because there may be only 1 or 2 things I want to press than using it with the 600. We'll see when I've got my gigs lined up. Where is the podcast? Well, I'm glad you asked. The podcast is available on Spotify, on Google. It's available on... Where is it available on? You can go straight to johnpaulmusic.co.uk and scroll down. And then when you scroll down, you will see the John Paul Music UK podcast. You can listen to it from there directly. If not, if you don't listen to it from there, then you can listen to it on... Oh, there we go. Apple Podcasts. Google Podcasts, Spotify, and then there is a dedicated RSS feed as well. There you go. It's there. That's a bit bright, isn't it? Hang on, let me just turn that down. Ooh. There we go. So there we go. So there's episode 11, the Boss RC600 versus the Headrush Looper board. Fight! There's loads there. Why I play in Dadgad. So there we go. So by all means, go and have a listen to my wonderful tones there. But there's also the How Do You Loop episodes are in podcast form. So if you don't want to actually, or if you can't watch the videos that are on the YouTube channel, the How Do You Loop podcast, so we've got the Emily Vicker there, John Wynn, who's a good friend of mine. You've got this is great. This is Todd McCarty, former Sony Music VP, and he answered my questions, and he's built a thing called Band Builder Academy. He's a former Sony VP, and he was talking to me, and he's got gold in there about releasing music, about like how to release music, what's the best strategy. So that is a good 35 minutes long, but it's really, really good. He's got a really great insight into how to release music. The Band Builder Academy is a great thing he's got there as well. So have a listen to that as well. So if you are releasing music in 2023, just see what I did there, then you'll be interested in today's sponsor, which is DistroKid. DistroKid are a music distribution company. So if you have music you're going to release, you give it to them, and they send it out to all the online stores and musical digital streaming sites around the world, of which there are now over 160, I am so told. But of course, you've got the big hitters, things like Spotify, Apple Music, Amazon, Pandora, Deezer, Tidal, all these different ones. So you don't want to push your fans away from the streaming site that they like. So how about having your music everywhere? So when you release music with most music distributors, they charge you per release. And it can get quite pricey. So DistroKid don't do this. What they do is they charge you one price per year, and that starts at $19.99. And with this link, you get 7% off your first annual membership. How good is that? So by clicking the link, it helps me out. Thank you very much. And if you sign up, obviously you're going to get 7% off. It doesn't even cost you any more. It saves you money. So if you do that, I would suggest do it now, because then what you're doing is you're setting a commitment to yourself for 2023, and you're going to go, do you know what? I'm signing up because I'm going to release 5 tracks. 1 track. It doesn't matter. I'm going to release a whole album. Then I'm going to release an acoustic version of that album. Then I'm going to release a live version in front of a live audience of that album. It costs you no more because you can release as much as you want in 2023. The only things that will cost you more is if you basically go up a tier, or there are some things you can do. So you can do things like what's called Store Maximizer. So as new stores come out, they'll push it to them as well. You can do a thing called Leave a Legacy. So if you are no longer here, then you can leave that legacy and leave that music up there, or you can pass it on to someone else, which is really, really nice. There's loads of other things like promotion cards, there's promo video cards, there's the hyperfollow page, there's splitting the money. So if you're in a band and there's 5 of you, you can split the money 5 ways. If you're doing it all equal, that's entirely up to you. I'm not going to get into that fight. Then you can do that as well. So have a look at DistroKid. They've got a link there that's on the screen. It's also in the description box on both YouTube and Facebook. And it gives you 7% off your first annual membership. So by all means, thank you very much to DistroKid for sponsoring this live stream. And thank you if you do sign up, because it helps the channel, helps me out. But also, as I say, at no additional cost to you. In fact, we save you money and give you 7% off your first annual membership. Right. So, we've talked a lot. Well, I've talked a lot. I'm just chatting on, aren't I? There we go. Need to go now, but thanks for all. You're more than welcome. No problem at all. If you want to obviously watch this live stream and again and again and again, you're more than welcome to, because it will be available on YouTube as a replay. No problem at all. And if you do have any questions and you've gone, I forgot to ask JP this question, pop it in the comments section below. When this does go on a replay, I will read it and I will message you back. So, with that being said, thank you very much for tuning in. This is the last live stream of 2022, and we're going to carry on with things like Tuesday Tunes, and we're going to do more live stream Q&As in 2023. There's 1 or 2 nice things that are happening. I'm not allowed to talk about them right now, but there are going to be a couple of things that is going to carry on with the channel in 2023, and I hope you're happy with it. I'm going to carry on with the courses, of course, and we're going to make 2 new courses in the first quarter of 2023. That's my commitment, so I'm going to be doing that. And if you like my live streams, there's a load of them available to actually watch on the replay. Ravi, as a new RC500 owner, your videos have been super helpful. Thanks. You're more than welcome. We're going to be doing more stuff on the 500. It's just sitting down there at the moment in the corner there because we were doing something with it the other day. And we're going to be doing more videos for that as well. So give the 5 and the 500 a bit more love. And we're going to be doing lots more with looping. So thank you very much for watching the live stream. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are listening. And have yourself a great new year. And we'll see you next year. Ta-ta.